Hello, 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 everyone. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening to you. Welcome back. I believe we're going to be reading maybe the last two chapters in the Archangelology, Archangel Jophiel book written by Angela Grace. Let me take a look because I can't quite remember where we left off. Okay, so we have 7 and 8. So we actually have 4 more chapters to go. Yeah, and then just a quick afterword. So in this video, we're going to read chapter 7 and chapter 8. Chapter 7 is titled Dreams and Vibrations. Dreams are a very deep and incredibly complex part of who we are. They serve as part message from the spiritual world and part our interpretation of events. And as such, they are an endlessly powerful part of our minds. They are something that we don't fully understand and contain information about us we may not even realize. Jophiel is known to hold influence over our dreams. You may be having difficulty figuring out something, be it a personal relationship or an issue with study or work. So naturally, when you dream, you are trying to make sense of these worries in the dream state. This is normal and good for you. This is the mind connecting with archangels and taking on their messages. If you have hues of pink and yellow in your dreams, that is Jophiel's message telling you that what you are seeing is something you need to learn, gently drawing you to your realization of how to move past this roadblock. If you are seeing a mountain bathed in a brilliant magenta or gold, this could be Jophiel telling you to make the journey, to literally walk the path, and reassuring you that the destination will be worth the steep climb. If you dream of something that makes you feel calm and confident, that is Jophiel telling you that it is okay to pursue and want that thing. It is okay for you to put yourself and your needs first. This is about self-love, which is a big part of Jophiel's message to us. Dreams are such a massive and important part of our minds and souls that keeping a dream diary may help you to see patterns and unravel their meanings. Lucid dreaming. Lucid dreaming is the act of meditation before a dream, a way of reprogramming our minds to allow us to control and interact with our dreams. Using the techniques of lucid dreaming, we can send messages in a dream state to Jophiel, asking her questions for guidance or advice. She then can show us things in our dream that we may not be expecting. In lucid dreaming, we can conjure memories and smells, tastes, and colors. These things can allow us to enter a place in our minds where we can begin to address Jophiel directly with our questions. Once we have asked the question, we then must not resist what it is we are being shown. This will be a divine message from Jophiel herself, a gentle and calm guide by which to find our path or to seek out something entirely new. This is something that sounds daunting, but it is not only possible, it is something that has a lot of modern science research behind it. I've lucid dreamt before or dreamed. Not on purpose. I'm sure many of you have. I think we've all done it, even, long before we knew what this was. I think this has been happening to me since I was a child, and it's probably happened to you too as well when you think about it and you realize what lucid dreaming actually, the definition of it is. Okay, daydreamer. Some of the people around you may be telling you not to daydream, but these dreams are messages. They are important to our souls, and they are much like our regular dreams, filled with messages, especially when these moments are followed or preceded by moments of calm or smell like rose and lavender. These are messages from Jophiel, who is reaching out to us, asking us to listen and to pay attention to what is around us. She is urging us to take that moment, that opportunity, or even that relationship and run with it. This is Jophiel telling you in her wisdom that it is all going to be okay. You just have to trust her and the messages she is sending you. Vibrations. The energy of all things vibrates with us, and this can lead to a lot of positive effects, improved energy, as well as emotional and spiritual healing. If we can surround ourselves with the right energy and vibrations, we can really maximize this. Part of this is looking at the energy of other people. If you see a person who is combative and negative, the best approach is to distance their influence and counter this energy with love and understanding. We need to understand, you see, that even when we feel that there is the potential for negative influences, we can turn this to a positive if only we are prepared to remove ourselves from situations that do not serve us. These negative and toxic vibrations can hurt our energy, and we need to protect ourselves as best as possible. If it is not possible to protect yourselves or to change the energy by helping that person, we have to remove ourselves. That's important. We are blessed with the gift of love every day, and we are bathed in light from Jophiel, who is always assuring us that the act of removing the negative is a good thing, as it will help us to grow. And chapter 8, communication and patience. We receive messages all the time from the archangels around us, including Jophiel, who may be drawing us to notice specific colors or smells. Is that communication between us a two-way street? There will be times we will want to communicate with Jophiel to ask for her help and guidance, to ask her questions directly, and to ask her to come to us. We will take some time here to look at how we can communicate with her, how we can draw her into our lives, and how to draw on her grace and energy. We will also come to see that she is already there, ready to gently guide us and offer us help and advice. And the amazing part is this process isn't as complicated as you may think. As we will come to see, not only does she want to commune with us, but also she is already ready to receive our message. Our understanding of this is as important as embracing her love. So the first way that she's recommending you communicate to her is to write a letter, which is something we reviewed in Raphael and Michael. So let's see if this one is similar or if she's got some different stuff to share. When we want to give thanks in the modern world, we send an email or an e-card or even a text message. In times gone by, we would have sent postcards or letters. For staying in touch with angels, there isn't an email we can use, but we can still write a letter. When we write a letter to an archangel, it is worth keeping their element in mind, and Jophiel is an air element. We'll come to why that is important shortly, but first, how do we write a letter to her? This may sound like an odd place to start, but it is important that you use paper and pen or pencil if you'd prefer, and it must be handwritten. We handwrite letters for archangels to show that we have written it with sincerity and care. We must sit in a space we have calmed, using rubellite and lavender or rose scents to channel all of that beautiful energy we have. And I'm just going to come out and say that I do not think that you have to have those things in order for any of what the author is recommending to work. I always look at those things as if you would like to. It's not a matter of her being there or helping you or not because you don't have a rubellite, you don't have lavender or rose, or any of the physical things that she's recommending. I just want to throw that out there. I don't have rubellite. I think it's kind of an expensive stone, just like with Raphael, they were recommending ruby. I think it was one of them, or no, not ruby, emerald. And I'm thinking, yeah, let me just go out and grab an emerald. I mean, I'm sure they have rolled and wrought emerald, but it's not going to be at your local rock shop right there ready to grab for a couple dollars a pound. I'm doubting. So you just stay with whatever works for you and what's really and truly realistic, because there are a million ways. These are just some ways that you can go about communicating to the archangels and working with them. Trust me. Okay. I already said that. All right. We then clear our minds entirely and introduce ourselves, state who we are, our full names, and say our hellos. We must then thank Jophiel for her blessings and her love. From here, the letter can be written as you would talk to a friend or family member, with love, compassion, and sincerity. The letter may contain a request for help for ourselves, for guidance, or for help for someone else. We ask this favor politely, as you would a sibling or a parent. Not begging, not pleading. Jophiel loves and cherishes you, and she asks for nothing more than respect. So this doesn't have to be a complex pleading letter. We then thank Jophiel for helping us and those around us, and thank her for our letter and the inspiration she gave us to write it. We thank her for her gifts of love and compassion. The letter then is burned. And lastly, because Jophiel is the element of air, we find somewhere we can release the ashes into the air. In doing this, we are asking for Jophiel's help, but also showing our appreciation for the gifts of beauty and love we receive from her in our day-to-day lives. We should not worry, however, if we do not see an answer right away. It may be that the question we are asking is always being addressed. It could be that in her wisdom, Jophiel has a bigger plan, a plan we may be unavailable to see just yet. If we do not want to discard the letters, another thing to do, and this can lend itself to a creative exercise, is to buy a sandalwood box. It does not have to be sandalwood, a box, okay? Inside this box, keep some dried lavender. That is pretty cheap. You can find it in a lot of places. Line the box with pink, yellow, or maybe even peach felt. You could also use tissue paper or construction paper, and paint the outside of the box the same color. Again, it could be a plain cardboard box, and you can color the inside, or you don't have to put anything. I think this is more about the ritual of doing it. People love ritual, right? So this is not the end all be all if you don't have those things, or if you simply just don't want to, you don't feel that would resonate with you, but you like the idea of putting it in a box and you don't want to burn it. You can even decorate the box with Jophiel's name or with a rubellite stone, and then simply place your letter in this box. This will draw her to the letter and will allow you to keep the letter if you wish. Conversation. Writing a letter is one thing, but a conversation is another way we can open up that communication, most specifically through prayer. Jophiel is love and integrity, so prayer to her with the fire in our hearts and an honest desire igniting that flame will make it easy. Unlike a letter, we just need to speak clearly with conviction and address her directly. Beloved Jophiel is a good way to start such a prayer. And with that fire of pure desire in our hearts, we can show Jophiel that we are speaking to her. In these moments, we will begin to feel her grace and her message. I feel like a conversation would be nice, but I'd almost have to write it out and then say it, because I get really distracted with prayer and I might be repetitive, and I feel like it would have to be a little bit thought out. A lot of people are a lot better at writing their issues down on a piece of paper or their emotions or requests rather than just saying it. So even if you plan on saying it, maybe think about writing something down so that you're not straying everywhere and, getting monkey mind over it and just kind of forgetting what you're doing. That happens to me a lot. I think I have ADHD or ADD. It doesn't hold for me. So writing down a little something might be useful to you. If you don't want to write a letter and you like conversation and you find you want to just stay on topic and be clear about your request, it might be worth making a few notes. Patience. There will be times when we won't be seeing any messages from Jophiel, and this is completely normal. The truth is, we are not always ready to see the messages being sent to us. I think we also have to remember that we have all decided a lot on what we're going to experience and what is going to happen. And there are many things that we can change, but we have to take into account divine timing. So you could ask for something, and if it's not in divine timing and in the time that it's supposed to happen, it's just simply not going to happen then. It could be soon, or it could be many years from now, or even another lifetime from now. We don't remember. That's the trouble of it. I liken this to trying to convince individuals that they are wrong about the best album ever when they are simply not open to that discussion. Shutting down any conversation you try to have before you can make your point. When we feel as though we are not receiving messages, it may be caused by our minds and energies being closed to the divine. We could be meditating and following all our usual practices and routines, but just not receiving. In these times, it is important to remain calm, positive, and receptive. There is likely an influence we haven't seen or some subconscious stress that we haven't managed to clear. Be open, and Jophiel will be there helping us to clear out this blockage. Patience and calm will then lead to the healing we need to start receiving those messages again. This is perhaps the reason we all say that patience is a virtue. And, of course, the adage that good things come to those who wait. We know that in this world, there is a time to wait and a time to act. Understanding the power and importance of patience is only ever going to benefit us. And by understanding the right time will come when it really is the right time, we can take happiness and run with it. All right, so that completes chapter 7 and 8. And in chapter 9, we're going to read Outer Beauty. And then in chapter 10, Time with Jophiel. And then, as I said previously, an afterword. And there's actually a little section in here titled, How Can Archangels Bring Us Closer to the Divine? So she's added a little something on there. So we'll wrap up the book in the next video, doing those 2 chapters and the afterword. And then we'll be ready to move on to our next one. So until next time, as always and as usual, please take care of yourselves. Please take care of those around you. And I love you all very much. And I thank you so much for joining me. And I will see you all again very soon for the last few chapters in Jophiel Archangelology. Take care until then. Bye-bye.